Welcome to the Scariest Things podcast, your gateway to the trends and tropes of the horror genre. This is episode 154, the top 100 horror movies of all time. This is numbers 60 to 41. I'm your host, as always, Eric Lee, and I am with
Mike Campbell.
And
Liz Williams.
there you are, Liz. And once again, for our top 100 countdown, we are with database manager extraordinaire,
Multi-hyphenate database.
Ian Parker.
the hyphenated Parker man. So we are now into what is, I think, going to be a very interesting stretch. This is we're hitting the upper end of the of our list, but so we're going to start hitting some of the classics, and
We've hit a couple.
we've definitely hit some, but we've seen a lot of movies fall. Some real big droppers.
Big fall.
Lots of new movies in the bottom 40.
Okay.
Fewer new movies this time around. I think.
Okay.
But we have new movies in the top.
We still have new movies. Yes,
All
indeed.
right.
Okay, and to refresh.
New meaning 1970 present.
New meaning they did not make the list
Gotcha.
last time.
Gotcha.
2018.
Okay. Eric, what was the biggest shocker so far in the last two episodes we've covered?
Monster Squad.
Monster Squad. All right. All right. I would concur with that. Liz, what was the biggest shocker for you?
I don't know. I think I'm still hanging on to Zombieland.
Okay, Zombieland.
Yeah,
I would say the number of David Lynch films that have showed up so far.
That's true.
Because
Yeah.
I fundamentally do not think he's a horror director.
Right. What was your biggest pleasant surprise?
Ooh, I would say that Eyes Without a Face and The Haunting and Night of the Demon all hung on.
Yeah.
That would be my most pleasant surprise. And Session 9 too.
Yeah.
Because Session 9 took a major drop.
Yeah. I think for me, similarly, I think The Haunting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hanging on. Glad to see Creature of the Black Lagoon hanging in there.
Yep.
I mean,
yep.
just because we don't want these movies to be forgotten.
Right.
Right. I think
Right,
there
right,
are
right.
plenty of other great horror movies that could have been on the list.
Yep.
That I wouldn't have objected had they been there instead. But it's nice to see some of these classics so that people can get to them. But Liz, did you have a particular favorite that you were happy to see make the list?
I was happy to see the Burbs
Yeah.
on my list, but I love it. And we got to have some gateways on our list so that we can recommend to the scaredy cats.
That's
There you
true.
go.
And we've
That's
got
true.
to keep Event Horizon on here.
Hot take.
It's not a hot take.
No,
man.
it's a hot take. The hot take is Eric and Mike are not fond of Event Horizon.
Yep.
But we are obviously in the minority in that.
Clearly.
in that,
Clearly,
because that
clearly.
it got plenty of votes. So we start ticking off now with number 60, right?
And number 60 was number 94 last time. It jumped up.
What?
Whoa.
Is this the biggest?
30?
Is this the biggest leap?
It is not.
Oh,
But it did jump 34 spots. It's Friday the 13th, part 6.
Ah.
Jason lives.
No way.
Yes
still
way.
still beat out the original, which made it, which was exciting to see. But it's wow.
Yep.
Oh
Okay.
man. Okay. Someone.
Wow. Somebody is goosing the voting machine.
Holy
the
smokes,
D-bolt
the D-
is broke.
Yeah. Okay. Well, wow. 60, huh?
Man,
Okay.
I sense some real serious shenanigans happening there.
The part 6 over the first one. I understand the significance of 6 in the telling of it, but when I look at the slash, I think some of the classic slashers that we haven't seen and may not see because we're getting into that realm. Like I don't know if we're gonna see like Sleepaway Camp, or The Burning, or Hatchet, right? But it's like now Friday the 13th has earned its place where it was missing the last time, and I think
Right.
understandably it makes the list. Halloween will be here somewhere.
Yeah.
We've gotten one Halloween movie already, but it's not.
Right.
It's the third one. Yeah. Okay. Well.
Maybe I'm gonna throw this out. This is a wild theory. Maybe it's because Ron Palillo from Welcome Back, Kotter as Horshack was in Friday the 13th Part 6. Maybe that's the draw. This is a vote for Horshack.
It's all about Mr. Cotton. Well, this top 100.
Yeah, no, this is where I think that Jason's like unkillable nature. I think that he is at his most killing machine. Like, I mean, lightning bolt strikes him, comes out of the grave, unstoppable. He's no longer a human in any sense of the, other than he's got 2 arms and 2 legs and a head. It's like
if you're gonna throw these out there, the one I actually prefer more than Part 6 is Part 8, where Jason takes Manhattan. I know that sounds totally insane, but I think Part 8 is actually better than Part 6.
I think it's disqualified because it doesn't even take place in Manhattan.
Well, it does.
At the very end, it's just barely. It's barely in Manhattan. It's not really in Manhattan.
20 minutes. The rest is on a cruise ship, and they're going. I think they leave from Canada and they go by way of the Panama Canal, or something like that.
Oh no, and that's the one. I think that one. I think there was he punches the head off of this kid boxer. I mean, it's like No, they're just dumb. I mean, come on. I mean, all right. Protest lodged.
All right.
But I also think that I think this is where one of our legacy voters, I think the Tremble podcast, had this as their number 1 horror movie of all time.
That's right.
So that's 25 points of it. But to get up to number 60, how many points does it have?
84.
Yeah. There's a lot of fan support for Part 6.
All right.
Number 59 was number 47 last time around. It fell 12 spots. Still respectable. This made the Scariest Things J-Horror Sampler Platter episode.
Ooh.
This is Ringu from 1998.
Okay. Yeah.
Not The Ring, but Ringu.
We'll see if
Okay.
I suspect The Ring might be on here somewhere. I know that's a very popular film, but Ringu, great to see it in this spot.
Both great films.
Now, Liz,
both
did you have Ringu on your list?
No, that's probably one of my least favorite of the J horrors. I do have 2 J horrors on my list, though.
Okay.
I have Suicide Club and I have Audition. Those Audition will be on this list somewhere.
Yeah,
Suicide Club will probably not be.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. We'll see. Ian's giving some winky looks. I don't know what that means.
Bad poker face. This is a podcast, but bad poker face.
No, what I think the thing that with Ringu. Now it's I always have to make sure that I have the right. It's Samara.
7 days. It's Sada.
Right?
Yeah. She's Samara in the American remake. She's Sadako in the Japanese.
Right. But similarly, girls with wet hair hanging in front of their face, and coming out of the well and coming out of the damn TV, which is
That's right.
just freaky. Yeah.
So which of the 2 did you see first? Did you see The Ring first?
I saw The Ring first.
Okay.
I saw The Ring first, and I loved it. And then I said, I found out later, it's like, this was made based on a Japanese movie,
right? And
went to go check that out.
Liz, what about you? Which
I saw Ringu first.
You saw Ringu first. Okay.
I think this is one of those kinds of, the adaptation, when the adaptation and the original, and whether it makes sense to do an adaptation. I think that the Verbinski Ring film is great.
Yep.
Right. I don't know if one of the films which I fear may have fallen off of our list was Goodnight Mommy.
Oh yeah.
Because I haven't seen Goodnight Mommy show up yet, but
and that was parked in the 80s. I think.
But Naomi Watts is
Queen of the remake.
Yeah, Naomi Watts is coming back to do Goodnight Mommy.
Oh,
an American version
I have not heard
of the
good
Austrian
things.
films.
Well, she killed it in King Kong. So
I'm not gonna see
good on you, Naomi Watts.
Yeah, that's right. Naomi Watts. She lives off of sequels. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Number 58 brand new to the list.
Oh, wow. All the way up. Yeah.
All the way up at 58. Made the Scariest Things Halloween Favorites episode.
Ooh, what is this?
On that episode, Eric Lee called it Totemic.
Totemic.
Okay.
Man.
This is the
There's a $5 word.
The 2007 film Trick or Treat.
Yes.
Oh,
it is
hell
totemic.
Yeah.
So, Liz, you had like the who, is it Jack? Is that the name of the little
It's Sam.
Sam.
Sam, sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
he's my favorite.
I can't. How can I say it's totemic if I don't know Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I blame Spirit Halloween.
Spirit Halloween. It's
Spirit
right now on my
Halloween.
Sam collectibles.
Yes, I blame Spirit Halloween for keeping the ghost of Sam alive and in the forefront of
100%.
everyone's minds.
He's so cute.
You go
Because
into a
he's
spirit's
adorable yet terrifying at
Yep.
the same time.
yeah, and you go into one of those stores and goddamn everything has Sam on it. It
Right.
can be underwear and coffee cups and lights and he is everywhere in the Spirit Halloween store.
Don't buy the burlap underwear.
Don't buy the burlap Sam underwear. No. So scratchy.
Oh,
so
man.
scratchy.
Yeah.
Hot tip.
Yeah, and I love all of these sequences. The Anna Paquin bit, and the sort of the turning of the tides kind of a thing, or it's like the switcheroo. That was great. And the kids on the bus, right? Yeah, it was just solid anthology. With this great through line,
I'm really surprised that all those money grubbers in Hollywood have not come back to this yet. I mean, because that was 13 years ago, and you would think that we would have seen
Like at least a sequel.
a sequel or just a string of like Sam-related horror films, but they have not picked up on it yet.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're not. They don't frequent the Spirit Halloween store.
Well, they're making a Spirit Halloween movie.
I
They're
know,
Let's just make a movie
I know.
about the place. Maybe Sam will appear in it.
Yeah,
Ooh,
well,
yeah,
it's
that's perfect crossover.
It's Sam dolls and scream masks. I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
His face.
All right.
All right. Number 57 was number 64 last time. It moves up 7 spots.
Okay.
Made the Scariest Things best sequels of all time list.
Ooh.
Going way back. This is the 1935 movie Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh, hey, another classic makes it onto the list.
All right.
This had to be Jeff Dean because I know
Yes.
Jeff Dean. I can't remember which bicep, but he has a massive Bride of Frankenstein tattoo on one of his biceps.
Yep.
So this has got to be him
Yep.
getting
Yeah, I
getting
think-
into the voting machine and
Yeah.
pushing this one so high up the list.
I have the 31 Frankenstein. And I was picking and choosing between that and Bride. I think it's the Bride is so much fun. I think it's just and it has some of the iconic. Some people forget that this is that it's Bride of Frankenstein that has the hermit sharing the cigar with Frankenstein.
Right.
And the reveal of the that the bride doesn't fall for Frankenstein.
Right.
And the silent scream. Oh, it's just there's just the classic moments and Elsa Lanchester. We have it's part of our Mount Rush horror.
That's right.
Up there. She is one of the greatest looking sort of just like again to say totemic
There's that
figures
word again.
in the genre and
It didn't
Then they
didn't even make our Frankenstein episode because we all largely recognized the fact that it was so great we didn't even need to talk about it.
right
We needed to talk about other Frankenstein movies.
other Frankenstein movies, yeah, because that's the gimme, that's the layup.
Right.
So all right, good on you, Bride of Frankenstein. Made the list. A movie from 30. So
do,
far,
do you
with
prefer
Nosferatu,
Bride of Frankenstein or Frankenstein? Which is your favorite?
I
I'm not even going to ask you this.
I think I've got Frankenstein, but it's neck and neck.
Okay.
They're both great.
Neck and neck. Okay. All right.
But I couldn't put it on myself to put them both on my list.
Okay.
I prefer the original.
Flip a coin.
It's mostly for the "It's Alive." moment.
Yes,
Yeah.
the Colin Clive. I think
Colin Clive, better performance.
yes,
in the first one.
and then the when they brought in the other evil the more maniacal Dr. Pretorius was like, yeah, he's a little comes on a little bit too strong. Where Colin Clive was, yeah, he was the perfect mad scientist.
Now, this is not our oldest movie because Nosferatu in 1922 is our oldest.
Right.
Maybe we'll see something even older.
Wow.
We haven't seen Haxon yet.
We haven't seen Haxon or Der Golem.
Or Captain Dr. Caligari, but we're running out of runway in a hurry.
Yeah.
For something like that to show up. I don't know. Might be too late.
All right, our number 56 movie moved up 6 spots from last time. Eric Lee of The Scariest Things once said, "It is a wonderfully paced police detective mystery wrapped in cultist cloth." This is the 1973 film The Wicker Man.
Oh.
Wicker Man. Yeah.
I think this is about the perfect spot for the Wicker Man because it should be on the list, but it shouldn't be much higher than where it's at.
Yeah, because this is peak folk horror.
It is. Yep,
Right.
absolutely.
And it is, it's I think it's sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
And it is, the collision of the traditional conservative beliefs running headlong into hippie culture, right? It was an analogy for that, in a lot of ways, but the whole notion of that the man undone by his own hubris, it's a great story. It's such a good story, and it's so sad that it got completely but so few people recognize that movie, and they know the Nicolas Cage.
I was going to say the only thing missing from this movie is not the bees.
Not the bees.
My eyes.
Yeah, no, that's oh boy. I recently saw the first 20 minutes of Prisoners of the Ghostland.
Yeah, I turned that off.
It was awful. It was it was like, God, sometimes Nicolas Cage can pull it off.
Sono, I think, that was supposed to be good.
Yeah, I mean, but it was just it was just too goofy, and it was like there was.
But getting back to folk horror, here's the thing I think is interesting. Of the unholy trilogy of folk horror with The Wicker Man, Blood on Satan's Claw, and Witchfinder General, I don't think we're going to see Wicker Man, or I don't think we're going to see Witchfinder General or Blood on Satan's Claw on this list.
No,
even though I think they're all pretty close to as good to one another.
I think Wicker Man was the one that
it's probably
was most recognizable.
For sure. Although I think Blood on Satan's Claw has some really crazy scenes.
Oh, it does.
In it.
It does. But I think but if you ask somebody, do you know what Blood on Satan's Claw is? You'll get blank stares.
Well, because it's goddamn impossible to get. That's why.
Yeah.
You can barely even get a VHS copy of Movie Madness.
Right. And if not for what was the Woodlands Dark and
Dark and Days Bewitched.
Yeah, Woodlands Dark Days and yep.
So that helped breathe new life into all three of those.
Yep.
Witchfinder General also. I mean, part of the thing is Wicker Man's kind of fun.
Yeah,
because you're along for the ride, and and you can sort of see that this guy's he's kind of got it coming, but how's it going to happen? And then all of a sudden they show that the Wicker Man itself, and you're going, "Oh my!"
Yeah,
that was in
reveal,
over his head,
and then and he just when they stick him in the cage.
All right.
Yep.
Moving on.
All right, number 55 was number 18 last time.
Someone's fallen.
Ooh.
Dropped 37 spots.
Ooh,
The Scariest Things has called it one of the most disturbing films of all time. It's Liz's number 12 movie. It's the 1999 film Audition.
There it is.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Big drop.
That's low.
Liz, why do you think that one dropped so far?
I don't know. I'm actually surprised. I could not tell you. I think this is maybe it's too slow of a burn for some people. I mean, because you are waiting a long time for the action. I mean, you get like the bag flopping, and you're like, "What the heck was that?" But you wait a long time. Or maybe it was kind of like a Me Too movie before Me Too was a thing. So maybe there's
Ooh, okay.
other more in your face, not so subtle Me
Right.
Too movies now. So people forget about this one. I don't know. This one has stuck with me, but maybe you just have to see it at the right time in your life. Or have a thing about eyeballs or needles.
And or eyeballs and needles.
And needles.
This is a
or needles
movie-
in eyeballs.
that Mike and I saw together.
Had no idea what we were in for.
And Mike was
no idea.
Mike was bitching and moaning about when was this gonna. I heard this was supposed to be scary.
Good. Yeah.
And then it was like, I can't look. Oh my god, I can't look.
Eric, hold my hand.
Oh god, it was just. Oh,
Hold my hand.
it was toe curling. Can't watch, and then we get what's our the woman's name
From audition?
from audition?
Oh gosh,
Ryu.
no idea.
Because you hear her voice.
Ryu Ishibashi is the actress's name.
Okay, yeah. So where she's kind of whispering and just like, and meanwhile the guys are going, ah, screaming. It's like I can't. That's so awful. And having just seen some very very silly gory movies that's like getting arms ripped off and heads knocked off with shovels and stuff like that, and it's like it's all in fun. Audition has violence that just feels, because they spent so much time character developing. Mm-hmm. This is horror investment. We are going to tell you a story about this man and his search for true love, and he finds a weirdo.
Well, he tricks the
Tricks,
weirdo.
yeah, right, yeah, right. But he tricks, he lures, he baits a weirdo into a sham relationship, and so it's skeevy on that level.
I think the thing that's interesting is this is the first Takashi Miike film.
That's what I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
Will we see
Ichi or any of the other stuff too?
The main actress, her name is Ihai Shina, and she played Asami, and Ryo Ishibashi is the gentleman.
Okay.
Yes.
But I mean, that guy has turned out such an incredible body of work. I mean, it's insane the number of films and video projects he's done. It's just mind-boggling.
Well,
he's like the prince of Japanese horror cinema.
Have either of you, any of you actually, and Ian included, have you seen The Happiness of the Katakuris?
Yeah, it
is bonkers.
So bonkers. Yeah, it's like Hasu. It's that kind of bonkers.
It's surreal weirdness. It's a musical. Right.
Yeah.
And there's a toxic waste dump, and it's a family. Go see Happiness of the Katakuris. It is a trip. It's fun. It's kind of light. It's not like Audition. You're not going to run out of the room. But
go see Audition.
Go
first
see Audition.
Because it's number
55
on our list.
A little low in my estimation. I'm a little surprised.
Well, it dropped. How many spots did it drop?
It dropped 37 spots.
37 spots.
Because it was way high. It was in the top 20.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
On.
But chalk another one up for Liz.
Yeah.
We are again, to reiterate something that we've mentioned in the past. Mike, Liz, and I are having a running competition, and the podcaster with the most alignment with the
public,
with the list, the public, aka the people we invited to do on this to participate in this, will become the mayor of Tropetown, or remain the mayor of Trumptown, depending on
Tropetown.
God, it's a Trumptown. Oh, I feel that's
it's your subconscious. It's okay.
I know. Tropetown.
All right, number 54 was in 2018. Number 54. It is one of the 5 films that kept their exact same rank.
Wow.
It's a film that Eric Lee of The Scariest Things once said was pure wackiness.
Huh.
The 1992 film Army of Darkness.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I could go that there. I mean, like if you're gonna do, I think Army of Darkness is a much better film than like Zombieland, which we talked about in the last episode, as is something that's it's a horror comedy it's got slapsticky elements. I think Army of Darkness is much more evolved. I think Sam Raimi, really knows what he's doing with that whole franchise, and it was a perfectly logical extension of the first two films.
Right. And Bruce Campbell getting to put some ham on that cheese.
A lot of ham on that cheese.
And because that's where he did the shop smart, shop smart.
Yep.
Yep. And both Bruce and Sam just having so much fun doing this movie.
Yeah, and this is a film that's now 30 years old, and I don't think it's as dated as Zombieland will become.
Because it's singular.
Yeah.
I think the risk of Zombieland is that it is like, that is a survivor's guide to the zombie apocalypse, and there's
Right.
a bunch of those kinds of films out there.
Right.
Zombieland is probably got the best cast and is the most famous of them, but that's
Right.
there were a lot of movies of similar tropes.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
Army of Dark, nobody's done anything like Army of Darkness.
And
I mean,
Army
it's
of
like-
Darkness Rise is coming to you in 2023, directed by Sam Raimi.
Oh,
And Bruce Campbell will be back.
so he didn't hang it up after.
No. Ash versus the Evil
Ash-
Dead.
yeah, okay.
It's coming back 2023.
All right. Our number 53 film is one that Mike Campbell chose as his gateway horror film for the Scariest Things Scaredy Cat Challenge.
Oh, I think I might know what this one is.
He called it, at the time, a foundational piece of the horror genre.
Stand by that.
This is the 1984 film Gremlins.
Yes.
Joe Dante.
I absolutely stand by that. And in fact, when we did our Scaredy Cat Challenge, that was one of the films I offered up. Eric, I think, offered up for the Tier 1 Scaredy Cat Challenge Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah.
Then he went deeper from there.
Right. I did Inside. But
Right.
Come on, kids. Let's go watch him punch a pregnant lady.
No, Gremlins is the perfect film to ease your kids and or coworkers and or family who might be a little tepid about horror films and slide them on into the world of horror because it's fun and cute and enjoyable and super relatable.
But it allows for some cartoon gore,
Yep,
right? Hey, gremlin in a microwave, gremlin in a blender.
that's right.
Yep.
And,
That's right.
And it's like, oh, that's what happens if you stick something alive in a microwave. That's awesome. I think one
Don't
of our
try that at home, kids.
one
Yeah,
of our
don't try that at home. No Gremlins in the microwave.
The great effects artist Chris Walas,
Yes.
makeup man extraordinaire who won an Oscar for The Fly,
Mm-hmm.
designed the Gremlins, and he throws a big Halloween party at his house or his Halloween decoration festival.
Does
locally.
it involve Gremlins?
I don't know. I think I've never been. I got to
Okay.
take a look at it. But if there's anybody who's gonna do a spectacular Halloween show, it's got to be a Hollywood effects man.
And
Get that invitation. Get that
That's
invite.
That's right. His stuff his practical effects are so incredible. I actually watched Gremlins 2 per Ian's advice, and when the Mogwai came out, my son said, "This is pure nightmare fuel."
Nice. Wait, does he knows the term nightmare fuel?
He knows the term nightmare fuel. Yeah,
Okay,
I
you're,
think that's
you're a
it.
good man. That's teaching him right.
So the Gremlins is scary, and it's scary enough for everyone, but it's scary enough for kids.
Yeah, and it's a good Christmas story,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
And that it's a father trying to do right. Well, kind of trying to make
Well,
up
it
for
doesn't
lost
work
ground.
out.
Yeah. Didn't read the instructions.
Liz, have you forced your family and friends onto Gremlins yet?
No.
Okay. Get
because
on.
it's been quite a while since I have even seen Gremlins.
All
So
right,
maybe this holiday season, I will bring out Gremlins
There you
To go
go.
what and your other your
with
Christmas fair?
Inside.
Yeah.
We'll have a double feature.
Exactly. Yes, it was meant to be a double feature.
A morning movie and an evening movie.
Okay, next.
All right. Number 52 is brand new to the list. On the Scariest Things franchise film ranking episode, Mike and Eric both agreed that this was the 5th best dead movie.
Oh, new to the list.
Yes.
Yeah,
So this is a Romero movie.
This
Yeah.
is Romero's 1985 Day of the Dead.
Heck yeah.
What a big entry point.
That is an
Yep,
insanely big
52.
entry point.
Chris Pilato, rest in peace.
Yes. Do you think we're calibrating now to a younger audience who may not have seen Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead, and they're saying, "Oh no, I started with Day of the Dead, and that's the best way to go."
It's still, what was it, 85?
85,
Younger? Yeah.
late 30s,
That was
early 40s.
I think those would be people saying, I just saw the remake of Dawn of the Dead.
There is a remake of Day of the Dead, and with
Yeah, it
Ving,
wasn't
with
very
Ving,
good.
No bueno.
Ving Rhames. No, there's actually two.
No, that was you think Ving Rhames is the Dawn of the Dead remake.
No, there was two Day of the Dead remakes. Believe it or not, there was.
Reviewed one of them recently. It was like a 2018 one.
Yeah, there was the 2018 one, and then there was a 2008 one. And I believe that had Ving Rhames as well. I know it had Nick Cannon and Mina Suvari. That one was terrible. The newer one was even. Yeah, and Ving Rhames was in both. Yeah, or he was in the 2008 version,
But it wasn't-
and he was in the Dawn of the Dead remake.
But Zack Snyder didn't do the Day of the Dead one. Where I love his Dawn of the Dead remake, which
Me
was,
too.
Yeah.
I
which
really
was
liked
terrific.
Stay away from all of the Day of the Dead remakes.
Yeah.
Go to
Pretend you
1985.
didn't hear what Mike just said. You can just flush that from your recent memory.
Well, you guys have talked about Day of the Dead a couple times on the podcast. What do you guys really like about it?
I like about it. What I like is that it's almost like a perfect continuation, even though it's not a direct continuation. It's like a perfect continuation of sort of the what if, the folks from Dawn of the Dead actually did get out in the helicopter, and what would that look like, and where would they go? It sort of satisfied that curiosity.
Yeah. Well, with the apologies to Lucio Fulci, this is I think the best zombie gore movie. I think
Yeah, for sure.
This is Tom Savini at the apex of his
Saviniest.
Yeah, and it's Savinius. Because I was speaking of Breaking in Young I saw this when I was 15.
Yeah.
Right, and it's like watching the guy Torres getting his head pulled from his shoulders, and he's screaming, and you can see his vocal cord stretch, and the pitch goes higher and higher and higher. It's like, that was awesome. And then when Rhodes gets pulled in half, he's choke on it, and the zombies are just going through his guts while he's still moving. That's impressionable stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think that the protagonists are at the level that Dawn of the Dead
Nowhere near.
or Night of the Living Dead, but the antagonists are all. I mean, they are pure cardboard cutout caricatures, but they're fun.
Yep.
And you get Bub.
And you get Bub.
So yeah, I mean it. I think these are we should see the other two big Romero movies coming up. I'm hoping.
Let's hope so.
But I think I sort of turned the tap off for Romero zombie movies. I think this is. Well, what was the
Land of the Dead.
Land of the Dead was okay.
Yeah.
But after that, it was like, George, you stop while you're ahead.
Go back and look at Land of the Dead. It's great.
No, yeah, right.
Yeah,
Actually, Land of the Dead is fun, but it's not,
Come on,
stop it for
Dennis Hopper. Come on. All right. Moving on.
Number 51. It's the George Romero double feature here.
What?
Because we got another Romero movie. This one
Wait,
moving
wow,
up
really?
21 spots from 2018.
Woo!
It was 72 back then. It's 51 now. It's Creepshow from 1982.
Yes.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
This is the perfect distillation of an EC comic.
Mm-hmm.
And it is unlike a lot of other Romero properties, it's loaded with movie stars.
That's right.
It's like, as opposed to killing off guy I don't remember who the actor was, to the next guy who I don't remember the actor.
Hal Holbrook, Stephen King, Adrian Barbeau,
Ted Danson.
Ted Danson. The list goes on and
Yeah,
on.
did you say Leslie Nielsen?
No, I did not say Leslie.
Leslie Nielsen. And Adrian Barbeau.
Yep.
John Lithgow.
Yep.
Did you say those already? Did I?
No, I said
Okay.
Adrian Barbeau. I did not.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Barbeau. Yeah.
But yeah, this was this may be my all-time favorite anthology. But it was, I think it came in 24 on my list in 2018. It got bumped this year, but it still remains high on my nostalgia list. It is pure fun.
Everyone's favorite segment?
Birthday.
The Crate.
Liz?
Mine's in Creep Show 2 because it's the raft.
Love the raft.
Oh,
Yeah.
Love the raft.
Liz, did you read the short story involved with the raft?
No, I did not.
It is. It's
Okay.
actually it's
Adding
it's,
that
it's a,
to my
it's
to-do list.
It's a very good representation of the short story. Just the kind of thing where it makes you wonder whether you want to just go swimming in that the
Murky lake,
murky pond, and the whole notion of having a girl pulled through a raft, a floating platform, and hearing all the crunching and munching, and the poor kid having to sit and watch her get dragged through that thing.
Have you watched the new TV show
I have
on
not,
Shudder,
actually,
the Shudder original?
because Liz seen it, and Liz said,
Skip it. Skip it. I didn't care for it. But
Okay.
you know what? It's kind of like hokey and comic booky. So that's just not for me.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Yeah.
but then maybe it might be for me because I
Might
kind of
be.
like comic booky.
The thing I'm not super keen on with the new TV series is the segments they seem really long.
They're doing it's
Really,
one
really.
segment. Is it one
Yeah, it's
segment
one
half
per.
hour?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where
and I think they might even be longer than half an hour. I think they're at
They
least
are.
45 minutes,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
even an hour.
Yeah,
which
we're
seems too much.
the creep
Yeah.
show ones, I think there were 20. They were like 20 minutes apiece.
Yeah, or
'Cause
even less probably.
Yeah, because it was
Yeah.
like, there was the cockroaches. There was Geordie Verrill, which
Yep.
was Stephen King getting overcome by moss.
Yep. Happy birthday, Stephen King! It's his 75th birthday this year. If we haven't mentioned that already,
Really? Oh,
yeah.
I thought he was older than that. 'Cause
No,
he just-
75.
Yeah, me too.
he's in rough shape.
Well, that's what all the
Hard
drinking and drugs will do to you, I guess.
That's right.
And getting hit by a car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that
that's
that,
that
that
too.
Oh,
too.
well,
too.
yeah, that too.
Fast living. Yeah. Although that was just being caught in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Has he done? Well, okay, just out of curiosity, has he done written a book about his ordeal? Because in a way it seems like Misery, but it was before. But that happened before. Misery was way before.
Yeah, he's written a kind of half autobiographical, half instructional called On Writing.
Oh,
where
right.
he,
Yeah, yeah,
where
yeah.
he
Yep.
talks about that
Like
experience.
how to not get hit by a car.
Yeah, where he talks about that
It's very
experience a little bit.
instructional.
Which
Cross
is,
at the crosswalk.
if you're at all interested in Stephen King, fantastic book. But as far as I know, fiction-wise, I don't know if he's done anything that directly mirrors that.
Yeah, because the drawing from personal trauma, you'd figure that man would be able to pull off something pretty special. All right, okay, what do we got next?
All right. Number 50, the halfway mark. Brand new to the list, Fright Night, 1985.
Oh, Chris Sarandon.
Good one.
Yeah, this is prototype '80s studio movie. In fact, I think we're beginning to get back to some of these kinds of movies. But this one was, I think, gateway. It's rated R, right? It is a rated R movie. But it's a
yeah,
but
it
it's a
is rated R,
but it's
yeah.
a gateway rated R movie. I tend to think. I think. We may have mentioned this to you before, Mike, when we were talking about. I sometimes get Silver Bullet and Fright Night crossed over because they
Sure.
they have the same.
Dracula's werewolves.
Yeah, right.
Right.
But
It's all about the same.
But the fact that they actually follow roughly the same kind of plot structure, where it's teenager suspects a neighbor of being a monster,
Right.
And the neighbor is charming and clever enough to get away with horrific deeds in the night, and eventually the kids get the better of the monster, but I think in this case, the star of the movie is the Dracula. The Chris Sarandon is terrific
And Christopher Lee as Dracula too.
in
In
Fright Night.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I don't
Yeah.
remember that either.
Yeah.
Huh.
Christopher Lee.
Liz is shaking her head.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
but
Oh,
is it
and Christopher Lee also in not Gremlins, Gremlins
2.
2.
okay?
Christopher Lee is everywhere. He is literally everywhere.
Yeah, Christopher Lee. Well, in the mid '80s probably needed the work.
That's right. Gotta
That
pay
was-
the gotta pay the
it
bills.
It was pre Saruman, pre Dooku.
Yep.
So he's like, I could use
Post Hammer.
Yeah. So Continental Limit of Nowhere's Land.
Yep. When was the last time you saw Fright Night?
Oh, it's been the reason why I don't recall it. I saw it when I was in high school.
I watched it a couple years ago and it was pretty so-so. And so I'm surprised that it jumped from not being on the list to number 50 on the list.
I
So,
think this is a nostalgia factor.
yeah.
I think
Could be. Could be. We'll park it in the same boat as Monster Squad.
No, it's not. It's not Monster Squad level.
No,
I
it's
wouldn't do that.
better than Monster Squad, but I'm parking it in the Monster Squad nostalgia boat.
Yeah, because there was the whole batch of, because they did in the mid '80s they rebooted The Fly, they rebooted The
Yep.
Blob, they did
Right.
and certainly I think both Silver Bullet and Fright Night sort of borrow on Universal tropes. They
Sure.
didn't really do because when did the Frankenstein reboot happen? That was in the early '90s.
Yep.
The Coppola.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did that.
No,
Kenneth
Kenneth Branagh.
Branagh did
Branagh,
it after
yeah.
the
Yeah, he did
Coppola
like
did Dracula.
Right.
He did
Yeah.
Dracula.
And that was so successful, they were like, "What else can we do?"
Call Tom Cruise. Stat.
Get on the mummy.
Yeah, the Universal MonsterVerse died at childbirth.
Yeah,
That's right.
Well, that was very sexy horror back in the early '90s because Coppola made Dracula super sexy.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well,
That's
that
right.
was
And so they thought, let's make a super sexy Frankenstein
yeah.
and then a super sexy
Not.
Jekyll and Hyde movie with Julia Roberts. And then we'll just keep going.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. They did make
And
one.
they did a Bride of Frankenstein with Sting.
Yeah.
Oh, did
Oh,
they?
did they?
Yeah,
I
the
did not
bride.
see that.
Yeah, the bride. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right,
boy.
let's move on.
All right. Number 49, also brand new to the list. On the Scariest Things summer horror episode, one Liz Williams said, "This movie is hilarious. You will be laughing your butt off."
Audition.
It's close. It's Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yeah.
I always get those two confused.
I know.
Yeah. they are
Audition and
confusing.
yeah, Tucker and Dale.
Love Tucker and Dale.
Yeah.
Me too. Me too.
Liz, why did you pick this one for summer horror again? Why do you like this movie so
This
much?
one took place, I think it was like kids on either a Memorial Day vacation or a Labor Day break from school. I just love Tucker and Dale. They're so well-meaning and sweet, and I just love, how the misunderstandings end up turning into bloody, gory, gruesome fun. And they're lovable characters. They're hilarious, and it's the only hillbilly horror that I'm okay with.
Well, this is a subversion of the trope.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And maybe it's one of the best examples of subversion of the trope where the bad guys are the good guys and vice versa.
Yep.
Right.
And because they're just, but they do everything to make themselves suspicious. I mean, they do
Right.
everything that they mean well, but they get caught with like the leg in the wood chipper. It's like, No, it's not what it looks like.
Yes, that's my favorite part. Oh my gosh! But also, is this on your gas station horror list? They meet them at the gas station.
Oh, it should be. I'll have to I don't.
Eric,
I
come
know. Okay.
on.
All right.
Come on.
You know, it's a pretty significant dead list, you guys.
Yeah. Oh,
so-
yeah, I know.
So,
Yep.
yeah,
but it can only get bigger.
Always
It can
room for more.
only get bigger. I liked it in that it, it's a very meta film, and it refers to, as Liz mentioned, a lot of hillbilly horror, a lot of the pieces and parts of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Hills Have Eyes and even Wrong Turn and all that, but that it's not contrived, it's not condescending, which I think the new the 2022 version of Scream most definitely is. It's super condescending. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Tucker and Dale is not that. It's really well done. It's really smart.
Yep.
For being such a dumb movie.
Yeah.
Well, this is to your point. This crew knows the tropes.
Yep.
But they don't scream-splain it to you.
Right.
Right.
They're not. Yeah, they're not
Right.
telling you they're better than you.
Right. And
They're letting you in on the fun.
and yes, and it's very
Right.
it's gentle in that way. You know, Tyler Labine, Alan Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk, yeah,
Perfect,
he's so
perfect
funny.
combination. Yeah, I'm good friends with Tudyk's little sister, and I
cool.
had the opportunity.
That
Get him
almost
on the
that is-
podcast.
I think that is the weirdest flex we've heard on
Yep.
the podcast
Well, but that was
ever.
well, but,
Ever.
But here's the connection was that at Rose City Comic Con I got Sam his
Yeah.
sister said, "Hey, what are you doing? I'm gonna go hang out with Alan and Bruce Campbell and Lou Ferrigno because they were all at Rose City Comic Con." And I was like, "How can I get there?" And then she goes, "Oh no, they changed their mind." I was like, "Oh damn it! I was just about got a chance to go see him and meet him." It's like, oh, that would have been wonderful because I think both.
He also
both
has a
Tyler
really
and
funny
Alan are
new
great.
show out right now
Oh,
called
the
Resident
Resident
Alien.
Alien,
It's
yeah.
hilarious.
Yep. Yeah, because he can do. He's so rubber faced.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Such a great character actor.
All right, let's move on.
All right. Number 48 was number 29 last time, so it's falling 19 spots.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Campbell of The Scariest Things once called this, quite simply, a great film.
Yes.
It's
yes.
1978
1978's
description.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh well, it is a great
a great film.
Yes.
You weren't wrong, Mike.
One thing people say is I excel at my superlatives.
It's pretty good.
This was also
Pretty good.
Mike's number 23 film.
Yeah,
this time
23
around.
and
Oh, it's on your list. Okay.
and it's an incredible soundtrack. Incredible soundtrack. If you get a chance to, you can listen to it online. You can go buy a copy. You can still get cheap copies of it. It is a great soundtrack. Obviously, the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers, really wonderful film. This one, I think, with the addition of people like Jeff Goldblum and Leonard Nimoy and certainly Donald Sutherland, I mean, the acting chops are like way up there, up to and including, if you haven't seen it already, a very, very shocking final scene with Donald Sutherland that will shake you to your core.
Yeah, and poor Veronica Cartwright.
Yep.
Last one standing. She does. She often gets caught in these moments where she has to do the. She does the horrified crying better than almost anybody. Like,
Oh yeah.
You watch her in Alien. You watch her in Body Snatchers, and it's just like whole body convulsion, like terrified and I'm gonna die right now moments. And yeah, that sold it. And what the most horrifying bit?
Yeah,
Dog with a man's face.
that's right.
Oh God! As a kid, that just was like it was one of those. It's just you can't get that out of your brain. It was like
Even though this is a PG film, because it was prior to PG-13, I almost said PG-13. Even though this is a PG film, it is. I would not call this a gateway film. I tried to show this to one of my sons a number of years ago, and they said,
Cut and ran?
"Hell no,
Yeah.
hell no!" Almost from the jump, from the opening sequence, where all you're seeing is the pods on another planet.
Oh, it's a beautiful opener.
Sort of
Beautiful
assembling, and he was just with that and the music. He was like, "Nope, I'm out."
Yep. The first movie was The Red Menace.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
It was talk of the times. It was Soviet incursion. They could be anywhere. They might be amongst you. The paranoia, and this was still paranoia, but this was 1977. So what do you think was the cultural? Because the Red Scare was not in 77 was a different thing.
Yeah, I mean they kind of cover it lightly in that Leonard Nimoy is sort of like a new age guru, new age author, and they kind of cover it in that context. So it's a sort of it's still fear of the other, but
Fear
it's
of hippies in San Francisco.
Yes, fear of new age hippies in San Francisco. Don't eat kale.
Don't do acid, kids. It'll turn you into a pod person.
All right. Number 47 was number 40 last time, so it dropped 7 spots.
Not bad.
And speaking of one, made the Scariest Things top horror soundtracks of all time episode way back on episode 20. This is 1976's The Omen.
Hell yes.
Yeah, Oscar-winning soundtrack.
Yeah.
The Omen.
Also on Mike's list, I should mention.
Yeah.
Number 22.
Uh-oh.
This one jumps out at you from the get-go in that the opening credit scene, that soundtrack, man, beats you over the head, and the first thing you see is the shadow of Damien and inverted into an upside-down cross, and it just like from the get-go, this film it absolutely takes off. It really, really takes off.
Yeah, and it also shows that when the studio is wanting to do something good and wants to put a big budget behind it, this in the 70s was like, hey, we got to get us some of that sweet, sweet Exorcist money.
That's right.
And
That's right. Call Gregory Peck. Stat.
Right, and then find ourselves a dead jackal.
Yeah. Gregory Peck and Lee Remick.
Yes.
Lee Remick. Yeah.
Lee Remick, and who played Damien?
Oh.
Trivia.
Jeez.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know, but I'm
it's
gonna
like a kid
I'm gonna
actor who
venture
didn't
to say you are friends with them, or you're friends with their
His
third
sister.
cousin.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm gonna look it up.
I used to babysit him.
What?
It's all for you, Damien.
Harvey Spencer Stevens.
Ooh,
Oh.
very good. Who he's got to be in his late 40s now, yeah?
He got a Golden Globe nomination.
Wow.
He was born in 1970.
Okay.
Has he done anything since?
Let's see. He got arrested. That's on his
Ooh.
Wikipedia page.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It's a cursed film, right? Because that was famously a cursed film.
It
The Omen.
is. It is.
He was in a TV movie in the 1980, and he played a tabloid reporter in the remake of The Omen from 2006.
Oh. So he's,
Gave him a little bit roll.
Oh, he went to jail for road rage.
Ooh.
Wow.
There you go.
That's a very Damien thing.
Yeah, he is the
Yeah.
Antichrist, so
Like that guy.
it's to be
Flicked
expected.
him off. Didn't know who he was messing with.
And then the cop who arrested him died mysteriously in a bridge accident the next day.
Yeah.
The last thing I'll say about The Omen is that it is punctuated with, I think, if you go through the annals of horror history and the key moments, it is punctuated with a series of key moments that you can't get out of your head. That everybody, if you're a horror fan, casual or otherwise, you know these key moments. They are big, big moments.
Yes. Yep. What's your favorite moment?
All
of
for
the key
you,
moments?
Damien.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
for you.
Gotta be
That one's still shocking. I think
Yeah.
the best one is the priest that gets the
Oh,
glass
yeah.
that gets speared
Oh no, I thought it was the
or the beheading.
yeah
It's
the
like
sheet of
the
glass that
lightning
comes-
rod kind
yeah.
of thing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
those- Or like a piece of the fence or something. That
Yeah,
goes
no,
straight
right. It just comes out of the sky and
Yeah.
It's
So
off,
I guess it
off
comes
the top of the chapel.
the-
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
which metaphor?
And I think
that
didn't
metaphor,
Cursed
that's great.
Films do a
They did,
episode
yeah.
on this?
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
a good one.
And Richard Donner, the director.
Oh man, Richard Donner's talk about cursed.
Yeah,
Twilight Zone too.
Yeah, he said that he does not feel that the film is cursed, and that he chalked it up to,
Of course he does.
if you want to find a curse within the context of the film, then you will find a curse within the context of the film.
Yeah, but you should watch that episode of Cursed Films.
It is good.
There's
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, I think they also had things the podcast Stuff You Should Know had a big thing about the Omen's curse, which was cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Number 46 moves up 9 spots from last time. It's the 2007 film Wreck.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good
the
one.
Spanish
Good
one.
The Spanish
Spanish.
one.
Yep.
Yes. Because the English one is called Quarantine, is it not?
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, this is one of my favorite found footage films. Liz, was this on your list?
This is not on my list, but I'd agree. It's one of the best found footage movies.
Yeah, because it actually justifies the presence of it being
The
a found
camera.
footage. Yeah, because it's a news crew,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
The camera being there and the camera being on all the time.
right, yeah,
Yep.
which is a hard ask for a lot of other
Mm-hmm.
found footage movies. Everything post Blair Witch, you better explain yourselves what you're doing
Right,
with that
right.
camera, and it's always like Vacationers or something like that. It's like. And some one of them is always going to be a wannabe director, but in this case, no. They're professionals. They're obligated to show it,
Yep.
and
Because it's a live news feed, so they're not like recording stuff. It is a live news feed. And can you talk a little bit about that? As somebody from the biz, how authentic Rec really is.
were you ever sent to a job site where you had to be? Did you ever have to go to a murder scene?
I have seen a fair number of dead bodies.
Okay.
None of them the result of murder, however. So,
How about satanic ritual sacrifice
Ritual? Yeah.
involving the Pope and the Vatican?
no, see, it all turned out to be a big misunderstanding. It was ketchup, not blood. It was no satanic sacrifices.
Yeah. So
Now, have you guys seen Rec 2, 3, or 4? Any of the other Recs? Because the second one is actually
I saw 2. Yeah.
yeah, 2 is pretty solid. I have not seen 3 or 4.
Yeah. 2 didn't
But they
impress
kept
me
it
enough
going.
to want to see 3.
Okay.
I thought 1 was wonderfully self-contained. That's a bit of a pun there actually, because it's like
It was
contained.
contained.
You got quarantined. I did like Quarantine.
Yeah.
It's not as good.
Yeah,
I think,
right.
and I think although Quarantine is maybe a little bit more prescient in a post-COVID world.
Sure.
I think the demonic aspect of it was so much fun in Rec, and damn that the ending sequence
Yeah.
that if you I bet you there's a Shudder series right now going on.
Yeah.
Best moment.
Yeah,
that
the
closing.
serious movie moments.
I am wondering whether that. Do you know? I haven't seen that show yet, but is the closing sequence where the reporter gets dragged into the darkness?
Not yet.
I don't know if it's been
Not
on
yet.
yet. I don't
That
think so, though.
I would think that's one of those kind of unforgettable horror moments.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's been not parodied but copied
Right.
so many times in found footage films because
Yep.
it's a reasonably easy trick. You just put the night vision on and then you just have someone get dragged away, but it looks wonderful.
That is
Yeah.
a great scene.
All right, moving on.
All right. Our next film, number 45.
45.
A little bit of a controversy because on the Scariest Things franchise ranking episode, one Liz Williams ranked this one above the original.
Woo!
Stand by it.
This is Exorcist 3.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. I think this is I think Exorcist.
This is
3
number 5 on my list.
Oh wow.
It is, and
I
number
love
number 6
Exorcist
on
3.
Mike's list too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's in it. Yeah. This is just
Is The Exorcist on your list, Mike?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, it's
For
not on
sure.
mine.
For sure. Yeah. Oh, it had to be. Although, yeah, I mean, I still think The Exorcist is just like a hint better, but this one, wow. just
Yeah.
just the acting chops in this film. I mean, Brad Dourif and George C. Scott. I mean, George C. Scott, he really draws you into the film. I mean, he's just an incredible actor, and his relationship with the priest, whose name I'm going to totally blank on, is really a great. It's endearing. It's got kind of got a Spielbergian quality, and it really pulls you into that whole world.
Well, not to rehash, but
Yeah.
Liz, why did you rank this one above the original?
Yeah, yes.
This one scares me more. I guess it's considered a jump scare. The scissors,
Yes, it is.
the crucified kid at the boat docks. This one terrifies me. Brad Dourif's performance is amazing. I love
Brad
him.
Dourif standing still is pretty scary.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's a creepy dude. I just love this one.
The scene in the confessional. Oh my god.
Yes.
Woo.
Yeah.
Woo.
This is one of those movies that I will, if it is on and it shows up on Shudder's, little live TV thing quite a bit, I will stop and watch it at any time. I love this movie. It is firm in 1990 though.
It is.
But I think it holds up.
It
Well,
is.
I think
Yeah.
that, you know what benchmarks it as a 1990 movie.
Patrick Ewing.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Georgetown. Patrick Ewing as an
still
angel.
Georgetown. Right. The biggest angel you will ever see.
And John Thompson, rest in peace, is in it as well as
That's right.
he is in the. I think it's like a mental institution / train station scene. That's a sort of a dreamy adaptation of Heaven.
Okay.
Yeah. But
which
John
is
Thompson.
an
Both
apt
John
description.
Thompson and Patrick Ewing are in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I like this one too because it's a serial killer story, which is my
Right.
bread and butter. Like that's my favorite. I love that stuff. So maybe that's why I preferred it to the original. Like I like a possession movie, but this has got serial killers and possession. It doesn't get much better than that.
And despite all the love, I will say this one did drop 23 spots from its
That's
place last time.
That's kind of shocking. That is really
Well,
shocking.
yeah.
Well,
there's a lot
we'll
of
see.
movement.
We'll see if The Exorcist makes the list.
It's
We
not
don't know.
It's in the top 50. It's still
Yeah.
Exorcist. Reasonable probability. Reasonably good probability because you put it in your list.
The Exorcist?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
There you go.
I don't remember where, but I put it on my list for
Okay.
sure. For sure.
All right. Number 44. Now, this film was number 46 last time. And when asked about this movie during the last round of the Scariest Things Top 100, one Mike Campbell said,
Uh-oh.
and I quote, I haven't seen it. This is A Quiet Place, 2018.
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah. I'm glad it stayed here. I think this was.
Wait, it jumped 2 points or drop 2
this
points?
one's
It jumped
stationary.
2 points.
Jump
Yeah.
2 points.
Okay.
Okay.
jumped.
Yep.
Love this movie. This is as Mike likes to refer to it every time it gets brought up. This is a Jim Halpern movie.
Yeah, Jim Halpert. Yeah.
But it is one of the best theater going experiences to see it because it was
Yeah.
also it was very, very popular. Did very well in the theaters, and so it was a packed. It was like a 300 person audience, and everybody trying to be as quiet as they could. There was actually, people would stop eating their popcorn. They would stop rustling about. There was no whispering because it was the palpable tension was just fantastic. Because it's all those kinds of because they set up the consequences very early.
Right.
With a
Yeah, and all the foreshadowing, every moment is like, oh God, you know where that's coming, and oh God, you know where that's coming.
There's
It's
a
full of
nail.
those.
No, not
Yeah,
the nail.
there's a nail.
Because it's bad enough that it's like that a nail could prove very painful. But
Yeah.
when you know that the goal is not to make any noise, and that thing is just like you know what that nail means, you
Yeah.
just know it, and and when it delivers, and you go, or the other one, Liz, is
That she's pregnant. Oh God.
it's like okay, try and be quiet during childbirth.
Or
Yeah.
try to produce a quiet child.
Yes,
Maybe. Yeah.
Babies are not.
It's all gonna
quiet.
be. Yeah.
right.
Wow.
Which was the perfect like, how are they gonna do this? And they
Yeah.
actually, but it's brilliant the way that they handle it.
Yeah.
I thought it was terrific. The monsters are great.
Yep.
Um,
So I have subsequently seen it. The one thing I liked it. I thought it was a great film. I did not care for the end. I did not care for Jim Halpert's self-sacrifice at the end. That was, to me, a little.
you do it for your boys. Come on, Mike. You do it for your boys.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a little. I felt the whole.
Baby.
I felt like the whole thing was a little contrived. It was a little contrived. It was a little focus grouped. It just felt very forced, and I think there was probably much better ways, either just like living, or just dying a simple death. I think would have been probably better options than what they presented you with. Now the second one I think the second one is just as good. In fact, I love the opening to the second one because it really sort of establishes that, and you get that kind of that really sort of like the remake, Zack Snyder's remake of Dawn of the Dead, that kind of that early tension in the film where it's like all the wheels are coming off.
Well, I think one of the things that gets removed, I think, for the Abbotts.
Yeah.
When Krasinski sacrifices himself,
Right.
he at least knows that his wife is going to be there
Right.
to protect the kids.
Right.
In the second movie, it's like that all bets are off. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
good- well, she can't because
Right.
the kids would have to fend for themselves. Though Millicent Simmons, or is it not Millicent Simmons? That's Hereditary, isn't it? The girl, the girl, the deaf girl,
Yeah.
is growing up.
Right.
And
right.
she
right.
and she, the exploration of wanting to be able to be sort of a leader,
Yep.
And that kind of stuff. It's a great growth story.
It is Millicent Simmons.
Was it
You were
Millicent
right.
Simmons? Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Oh
okay.
wow.
Nice.
Good.
Deep
Good
Good
pull.
job.
Good
right off
pull,
the top
Eric.
of my head.
Wow.
Not
Yep.
even using
Yep.
IMDb.
Nice
Thank you
job.
very much. No, it's I think also proof that take a chance with an original property.
Yep.
This was that of course the copycats have come out. The not so great Sandra Bullock movie that ended up on Netflix.
Oh, Bird Box.
Bird
Oh,
Box.
the Bird Box.
Bird Box.
Yeah.
But that
It's
was
like-
based on a book.
Yeah, but I think that they were willing to take
Yeah.
a chance on it because of Quiet Place, because Quiet Place did so well.
What year did Quiet Place come out?
2018.
Right, right when we started.
Oh, right when we were doing the list.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so when
So that's why I hadn't seen it.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, because it was the movie of the summer, and Mike hadn't seen it.
Yep. All right.
yeah,
All right.
that is true. It was a movie of the summer.
Number 43. One of the biggest jumps for last time. This one jumps up 28 spots. It's on Liz Williams' list. It's her number 17 movie. It's The Descent from 2005.
Yeah.
Going down went up.
Going.
Yep.
Good. Man, good one.
Ooh, this
Hey!
movie makes me claustrophobic even thinking about it. It is a visceral reaction
Yep.
that I had in the theater to watching this movie. Cross spelunking off my vacation ideas.
It's scary enough without the monsters. The monsters
Yeah,
are really well
yeah.
done, and make it even scarier.
But it's two kinds of survival horror. First, surviving, getting out of these caves. Second, and there's monsters.
and there's also
So,
there's
spoiler
a bit
alert,
of a bit
people
of
who
a
haven't seen The Descent.
kind of a betrayal of sorts, or at least bad decision making and infighting amongst the group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think this also managed to pull off sort of the all female cast without feeling like it was a forced thing, right? Where you get it's a girls weekend, but they're athletic, right? And so that they're all going to go out and
Girls trip. Yep.
and do some adventuring. So Liz, this like when you and your girlfriends go out, you go to Cabo.
Yeah, we did. We went to Mexico. We went to sit on the beach and drink some cocktails. We're not spelunking through the caves.
You don't go to Tennessee and go try and find the least explored piece of turf on the continent, right? So
I surround myself with friends that have the same interests as I do.
Now, Liz, when you
Not
saw
that.
this, which ending did it come with? Was it the happy ending or was it the downer ending?
It was a downer ending
Okay.
because I think that's the original.
I mean, like the downer end. I mean, there was there's a final girl.
There-
And is there a
Yeah.
version? Is that? But it was pretty. It was a grim. I mean, pretty most. Well, not to spoiler it, but it does not end well for most of the group.
Well, yeah, I
Right.
I mentioned this only because I know there is an alternate ending. One of the endings, and I forget which one was original and which was alternate, but there is one where one of the girls
Oh,
makes
it's an
it out.
extended ending.
Yes, where one of them makes it out.
Yeah.
And then in the
Right.
extended ending, it's still she makes it out, but it turns out that was just her dream or her fantasy. And
Right,
she's still
right, right.
trapped in the
Yeah,
in the cage.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
the downer ending where
Right.
you're like, all right. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I love? I think it's great that Neil Marshall, the director, has really stuck with the genre. I mean, he did Dog Soldiers. He did some episodes of Constantine. He did The Descent. He did The Reckoning. He did Hellboy. I mean, he's done a lot of science fiction stuff too. And so, yeah, hopefully this was what 2005. So yeah, hopefully there's more in store for Mr. Neil Marshall.
Yeah,
because I think he's got a good eye for horror and
Action horror.
certainly action horror. Yeah, I mean, Dog Soldiers. I think we put at the tippy top of the action horror list.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't. Does he have anything coming up that you're aware of?
No, I'm
I
not
just
aware.
I am Wikipedia him, and no, it doesn't really say anything right now.
All right.
Come on, Neil.
Get on it, Neil. We're waiting for your next movie.
Yeah.
But come on the podcast first, and then
And talk-
get working on your.
give us the
Then
scoop
get
on
working on
new
your next movie.
Exactly.
All right, number 42 made the Scariest Things most overrated horror movies of all time list.
So this is
Overrated.
yeah before.
This is 1987's Hellraiser.
Oh yes, I remember. I think I put that on the list.
Yeah, as overrated. I
yeah,
think you did.
but to be fair,
So explain yourself
explain. I can
to
definitely
the horror
explain.
community.
Now, the Hellraiser is not a bad movie. It is, but it has been put on within the pantheon of the all-time greats. It certainly is showing up on our list of the all-time greats. But what I think one thing that people tend to forget is that it is a slow builder. It is, and I think it also gets dragged down by a bunch of bad sequels. Although Hellraiser 2 showed up earlier on our list. There are 10 of these movies, and 7 of them are unwatchable.
Yeah. So you think Hellraiser is all-time greats B team?
Yeah, it's like it is. That's right. You're the second string. Okay, get in there, Pinhead. So I think this
Leatherface, you're out.
Pinhead, you're in.
he's out of juice. Get back to it with a new kid. All right.
Oh, goodness.
I think that Hellraiser has the benefit of actually having Clive Barker, actually the writer, and doing the directing as well. Some of his, I think some of his instincts as a writer are better than his instincts as a director. His pacing had some issues with the movie. There were parts where it kind of dragged. But the visuals, unbelievable.
Yep.
Right, on a modest budget, this isn't one of those micro budget indies,
Right.
But it isn't also an Exorcist level big budget thing. But it got a huge marketing push because they realized they took a look at this. These guys look like it's like stepped out of a Judas Priest ensemble or a Guar.
Yeah.
Right, and the sexual overtones. I think there was definitely the evil sort of saturated the movie. And that's the best part of it. It's just that I think that the demons were full of exposition and not a whole lot of action.
Sure.
I don't know. Am I overthinking this? I mean, it's.
Yeah.
I think because it's.
Well, as we're recording this, we are on the eve of the new remake of Hellraiser coming to Hulu.
Yes.
So we will get back to you on that.
Yeah.
I think that was the most anybody's thought about Hellraiser in a while. I don't know if you're overthinking it, but
When I said defend yourself, I didn't really mean defend yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I did.
It's a good movie. It's Doug Bradley. The costumes, like you said, are totally memorable. Its aesthetic is, one that people are fans of. It's good,
And
but
it sounds
definitely
great.
not on my list.
It looks great. It's got iconic imagery.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It started a franchise. It's like it. Not every horror movie in the '80s managed to spawn 10 franchises that weren't part of the Blue Moon,
Right. Right.
straight to video kind of set. Even if after I think
It's definitely parked in the world of
So-
horror too. I mean, it's Pennywise and
absolutely.
Ghostface and Chucky
Yeah.
and Michael Myers. And
Oh, yeah, Pinhead
it's-
totally is
Pinhead.
a
Pinhead's
household name.
right there. Yep.
yep.
Yeah.
All
We'll see
right.
what happens with the new one.
We
Fingers
have
crossed
such
it'll be
sights
good.
to show you.
Yep, that's what they say.
Number 41. Final film of the evening. Somehow did not make Liz Williams' list on the sexy horror episode. This is 1987's The Lost Boys.
Oh, there it is.
But
do a dance, Liz.
I am excited.
But it did make Liz's list this time around. Number 15, right, Liz?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh.
Absolutely. And the Lost Boys will be celebrating an anniversary this year. I think it's its 30th?
No, 25th.
25th? Okay, good. That makes me
Wait,
feel
no,
a
it
little
was
younger.
No.
35th.
It is 30th.
35th, yeah.
Oh, shut up. Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, Liz, you're old.
Oh, yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah. I did not see this in the theater. I was too young, but I saw it after.
Okay.
I guess when it was on video cassette. VHS. I love this movie. I love the music. I love the stupid 80s, hair metal clothes of the vampire gang. I love Jason Patrick. I love Kiefer Sutherland. I love the entire cast. I love that it's funny, that it has quotes. This is a great movie to me.
Corey and Corey.
I don't
and Corey.
understand. Yeah, it's got both
got
two
all the
Corys.
Corys.
Both Corys.
I know Lost
Yeah.
Lost Boys The Tribe 2008 is 50% less Corey.
Haven't seen it.
It's like, which
Only
Corey
Unfortunately.
Haim? Was
No.
it Feldman or Haim?
Feldman.
Corey Haim
Okay.
passed away.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think had he passed away at that point. I don't
Feldman's in it. Corey Haim, I believe, passed away.
know. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe
But-
he just decided not to be in that one.
Yeah.
Donald Sutherland, not Donald Sutherland, Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah.
Has, it's remarkable. He has aged really well. I mean, it's like, but this was the movie that launched him. I think he could step back in.
Yeah, because
You know,
he
in
was
some
probably
kind of
what
thing,
in his
like-
early mid 20s in this film.
Oh God, early 20s, I think.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
he gets the benefit of being Donald's kid.
Probably.
Right? So
Sure,
he gets-
sure,
he-
sure,
he gets-
sure.
He gets elevated, but I think this sort of established him after what was the Stephen King movie, Stand by Me,
Stand By Me.
Yeah.
where he played one of the young thugs. This puts him squarely in the poster boy, dreamy lead role, right? Because you put like 40 layers of scarves on him, and then put a poster on the wall, and someone like Liz is gonna go,
Yeah.
Scarves, bandanas.
Oh, I had
and
that
Aquanet.
poster, and I had a T-shirt
Yeah.
because it does have the best tagline of any tagline
Give this-
ever. Sleep all day, party all night, never grow old, never die. It's fun to be a vampire.
words to live
And it
by.
made it look really fun to be a vampire because you were like, oh, I get to go hang from that cool bridge. I get to live in a cave. I get to eat Chinese food all the time. Being a vampire looks amazing. I just hang out at this carnival every night. Okay.
Yeah, that's like that's good living vampire right there.
Yeah.
Although they were kind of on, they replaced the idea of the old manor with the essentially the Bat Cave for them to hang out in, right? That they get this, but filled with it felt like almost like an Arabian Nights kind of a setup. It made it seem like the cool hangout for It was totally like if you're gonna be a runaway, this is the way you got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the California coast, find yourself a good cave, and sort of fill it with like big fluffy pillows and gold chains and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, Liz, are you excited to see the Lost Boys reboot? Because they're talking. It is in talks
No.
right now. No,
So-
you're not
No.
excited.
There's
You say
properties
hell,
that don't
hell
need to
no.
be remade or touched. I will go see the original Lost Boys in the theater for its birthday,
Yeah,
but I'm not going to see the remake.
not to put too fine a point on it,
Or
but
reboot.
I think Liz is too old to be swooning over teenage
Yes,
boys
I
at this point.
That would get creepy.
Sorry, Wayne, didn't mean to.
Yeah, no. He's not a
Encourage
teenager.
I think you should have a poster of Wayne on your wall in like.
We have a poster of
in-
Wayne
in-
in his office because he was literally the poster boy for the army.
There you go. All
Yeah,
right.
So
Is it a signed limited edition poster?
he has not signed it. But I'm Googling Kiefer Sutherland here. Did you know his name is Kiefer William Frederick Dempsey George Rufus Sutherland? He has
Mm.
quite a few middle names.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's Hollywood royalty for you.
Yeah,
I
that
wonder-
is
I'm
a
6 middle names. Wow.
I wonder if any of those are tied to any Hollywood personalities. Did you say it was Roger?
Oh,
in
I
there?
don't know.
I heard of Rufus.
Yeah,
Rufus.
I heard of Rufus.
Yeah.
Rufus Xavier. Sarsaparilla.
So
All right,
that-
let's get out of here.
Sarsaparilla,
Let's
that's what we're
end
gonna
on,
call
let's
him.
end
Good
on a
old
high note
Sarsaparilla.
with the Lost Boys.
I love it. Go listen to the
People are
soundtrack.
strange when you're a stranger. Yeah. Sing it.